not doing anything absurd, not drawing a lot of attention to those mistakes. That being said, the judges, they've got amazing eyes, and they're going to see every single movement, everything that you're doing wrong, they're noting it down.
They are just laser vision.
Hawk eyes.
Good old Hawkeye. Okay, there, yeah, easy there. Pump the brakes. All right, here we go. We got Mr. Drift Wizard. Let's see what kind of sorcery we got cooked up here. Tumble and Troil, boil and bubble. Let's go down to Long Beach. As he drops in and he drops the staff on Brandon Sorensen. But Brandon Sorensen, unflappable, brings it in. Red with the 702. Las Vegas with a 513 on the roof. High flying Brandon Sorensen. That was good. That was really good. Andy Haley, you know, good effort. Had some mistakes in that chase. Decent, but look at Sorensen.
Nope, it's not.
I mean, the Drift Wizard cast some sorcery.
Nope, because I press play and it does one thing. You know,
I don't understand. This is some devil's stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, Andy, good line there. Not getting onto those rumble strips like the judges said. Unfortunately, gets
I don't know which one to click on. Fucking three of them.
Tapping the front end of Brandon, who stays in it, stays with it. Andy adding in that little bit of extra angle, but comes up shallow through the touch and go. You need to have that angle coming through the third outside zone and not trying to add it in a little bit later on. I really like the development from both of these drivers. Brandon, from years past, would get a little bit too aggressive, fight a little bit too hard.
Sucks.
Now as he's aged and matured, has realized sometimes you have to drive the car at 9/10.
Kick.
Depending on who you're battling, you don't have to go all in on it. Makes the, you know, adds the
well, it's momenting right now.
Really rubbing doors that come across the line. Love to see that.
Last live just now. So you're not even live anymore.
Clean, keep it tidy, keep it right. It's like he folded the
says I'm not following
before he left. Here we go. Brandon
no, I am.
Sorensen. There it is.
Maybe I need
Andy
to
Haley. Love the look. The Drift Wizard, just an absolute good time. As Brandon Sorensen with just a few more battles left as we whittle down from 32 to 16. We caught up with the three-time champion, which
you're offline.
I think he knows what's to be expected here at Formula Drift. So we asked him, what incentivize Freddie?
I think you can hear with Connor that
what about now?
Driving an F is very different from some of these other series. We have very specific tires here, very specific weight rules for very specific tracks. So even though this is drifting, it's a different kind of drifting than what people are used to elsewhere. So you have to be prepared to relearn some things. You have to have an open mind and figure out how this differs from everything else that you've done. And I think the new driver that can adapt the best is the one that's going to succeed.
Some great insight there, very calm. I like that kind of, you know, a testimonial there, you know, getting some insight there from Frederick Oswald, a three-time champ, you know, finishing top 3 overall last year. He's going against Connor Sullivan. Welcome to Formula Drift Pro. O'Sully from the United States Army BMW, Rockstar Energy Drink Toyota Supra. Just a little smooth to the tooth.
Yeah, now it says you're live.
It says I'm live?
Yep, and it's working.
You can see it?
Nope.
Is it live?
So I'll tell you the wide arches.
You can see it?
Rear end of that Toyota Supra, that Mark V. You saw again, just a good little smooch of the touche out there, on that outside zone 1. And this is, like I said earlier, with Ryan Little.
How about now?
He knew what to expect. That's what you know going
Has just an each for the win.
Where I think the judges might start to look at this is, should he have been back on throttle to that point? We'll get to that in a little bit, but Freddie out front looking absolutely dialed. I would have liked to see slightly deeper in second outside zone, but that's pretty much my only point there. We could have a conversation about should Freddie have been back on throttle at that point, but he has a really, really good arc through there. I think he's safe, but we're really going to have to dive into that one if we need to determine the fault a little bit later on. Great chase, especially being down on horsepower, representing the U.S. Army, celebrating their 250th birthday. That's pretty epic.
Well,
So you can hear me and everything now.
Here we go, United States Army, BMW, that of Osoli.
Yeah, but it's all black.
To this game.
How about now?
Osoli has one of the fastest come up we've seen in the sport. It's about like what he's been able to do in such a short period of time and run through all these different competitions, run through pro.
I see like your room picture.
That initiation was a little bit shallow through that section. Just shouldn't have been on the run.
It's like super tiny.
Man, little micro corrections so it adds a little bit more angle to there. Freddie has to back out into that transition. Connor O'Sullivan, I mean, coming out of the gate in this car, like I said, down on horsepower, absolutely crushed it. You would have no idea that he is sub 1,000 horsepower with that run on a bigger tire than he's ever run before. Frederick Oslo playing things safe though.
There's like 10 screens of you.
A bit of an advantage with the collision before, not an inactive chase. I think if that collision wouldn't have happened, we would have seen Freddie on the door of O'Sullivan all the way through. But Freddie, I mean, he's one of the greats of all time. For sure.
All across the globe.
When we get into F1, he has more wins, more event wins than anybody else, more event wins than James Dean. So you can't discredit Frederick Oslo, three-time champion and just an icon.
Oh, it's gone.
And, you know, he knows how to play this.
Yep.